Usually, let's see, I don't know, we're probably a few minutes into recording. I feel like usually by this time, the roaster or person has joined in. But you know what? It's time with David. I'm with David. We're here with David. This is me drinking some super tasty pink bourbon from Das Coffee. Das Coffee is our subscription for October. We a wee bit behind, but this is very, very good, and I'm very excited. We're waiting for Milo of DOS to join us, which I'm very, very excited. Very excited to chat with him, get to know Milo more, as well as DOS Coffee. Briefly summing up what I know of the German roaster coffee scene. We've sampled, I believe, five or so roasters from Germany. A lot of there's a lot of roasters in Germany. And I think we used to carry back in the day the Barn. They're from Berlin. We've also sampled who else? I think it's Flying Roasters. I might be wrong, but I think it's called Flying Roasters. Might be a different name. We've also sampled Five Elephants. What else? I feel like Bonanza. I believe all these are from Berlin, if I remember correctly. Bonanza might be from Munich. I do not remember. And Das. And when we sampled the DOS, it was kind of the one that stuck out just a wee bit more. We had a very special coffee on the table that we actually weren't able to get for the subscription from Diego Bermudez and or Alex Bermudez. And that really sparked an interest for us. And as the week went on, after we sample roasters on the cupping table every Saturday, which some of you know, maybe some of you come to the cuppings on Saturdays, but we do a public cupping on Saturdays, and we sample roasters from around the world, and sometimes our roasters. And after we had cupped on Saturday, we brew them up, whether on espresso or pour over. And the Tamiru coffee. So some of you will be getting the ALO Village Ethiopia, which is our main exotic for this month. And that coffee really shined on espresso, really shined. And on pour over as well. But man, it really it knocked our socks off and it was like, whoa, this is a fantastic Ethiopia that is a little harder to come by, so to speak. Washed Ethiopias, which we've had quite a bit over this year, and by quite a bit, I mean probably like five to 10 maybe. They've been super tasty, more floral and more clean, which is wonderful. But it is very enjoyable when we can have an Ethiopia that has more fruit tones to it. Yeah. Yeah, and this one was one of them. So I think Milo is actually joining us right now, which is very, very exciting. Let's see. Hello.
Hello,
Aha. How are you doing?
I'm good. What about you?
I am doing absolutely lovely.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Yeah, yeah.
enjoying good coffee?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm currently drinking the pink bourbon.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Well, I
that's a nice one.
very much so, very much so. Before you joined, I was already kind of recording in process, so I was so actually just kind of talking out loud, to anyone who starts watching at the beginning of kind of how we found you and how you stuck out to us. Yeah. And in brief, I actually don't even remember if I've how much I've told you, but over the last a wee bit over a year, probably 12 to 14, 16 months, we've been sampling coffees continuously. And some have been from Germany. And Das really stuck out to us. After we had sampled about 4 or 5 roasters, we had sampled the barn, we had sampled I think flying roasters, maybe it's called, Bonanza, Five Elephants. I think those
Mm.
are the only ones. We had sampled all those and good coffees, but whenever you were on the table, it just like I don't know, you stuck out. You stuck out to us, and
Wow.
even yeah, and even after the cupping, when we brewed your coffees on, pour over an espresso. I mean, truly, almost every coffee shined. It was quite a wow. Like this is good. And it was kind of a moment of where a couple of our staff were like, we kind of need to get on this. Uh,
Amazing. I'm very, very glad to hear me, and I'm sure the team also likes to hear that. Yeah, pleasure, pleasure. I remember when we sent our samples to Coffee Wine, they based in Amsterdam, international subscription.
mhm,
Yeah, they were also surprised because we still more like a micro roastery, and they had the big names on the table, and yeah, the most outstanding coffee on the table was ours. At the same time, the most funky one, which was maybe too funky for some of the people. So some people said, wow, the very best is from Dust Coffee. And also one which is maybe not so nice is from Dust Coffee. It was funny to see. So yeah, I mean, so you can see coffee is always, yeah, totally different for someone.
mhm,
Uh, but they choose our roasty, which was a very, very nice coffee. The other one, which they didn't like, is 30 days fermented coffee from Diego Bermudez. Yeah, 30 days, 1 month fermented, and the description on the package was for the flavor notes, just like surprise, surprise, because you couldn't say really. It was some kind of savor, like bread, like onion. If you let it chill, it was more sweet, like peppermint, like after eight.
mhm,
So very crazy coffee. Not for everyone. Super interesting. I really liked that coffee, and it was very quickly sold out. And the roasty is more um, they use for the fermentation, the outer part, the skin, the pulp of the coffee cherry, which gives a nice sweetness and really like rose notes. So that's why they call it rose tea. Very nice to drink. Really like a tea-ish drink with some rose buds notes. So it was a very, very nice one. And now when we tried to find some other farmer, but which has also who has also coffee on a competitive level, we found luckily Tamiru.
mhm,
And actually, we met both Diego and Tamiru in Copenhagen, World of Coffee, and we introduced both to them to each other, which was very, very nice. And yeah, Tamiro's coffee is amazing.
mhm,
He is such a young guy, but yeah, brilliant. The way he works is unbelievable. How he sources the coffee and the process behind that. And yeah, we went to German coffee festival with Tamiro's coffee. The feedback was amazing. Mm, Last year, Barista Championship winner texted us after the event. He really likes to use Tamiro's coffee for the next time, and also the coach of the current barista championship, Janina, also wrote to us how to get the coffee because from Tamiru is not that easy. Yeah, he's still not working with anyone who is like yeah, operating between Ethiopia and Germany or Europe, because most of his coffee from Tamiru is going actually to the Emirates, to Japan.
Yeah.
So that works, I think, more easy. Like archers from Dubai, they buy like the whole crop, like yeah. So they just order the whole container full or many containers full. For us, it was a little bit more difficult to order some of his beans and was not that easy. So yeah, long story with a lot of costs, human resources costs, but also financial. But at the end, we are super happy to have his coffee.
Mhm.
People really like it, both the natural one, but also the fermented one at the same time. I think it's yeah, super nice coffee, very delicious, and it deserves all the high cup score really.
Mhm.
Yeah, and now super happy to see that our coffee is staying in the States for the first time, and then next to big other roasters in the shelf. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. Well, I don't think many people know about Das, and you. Just to even begin there, tell us your story of, how did you get into coffee? I know you briefly told me, but yeah, just for everyone watching who's, excited to be tasting your coffee and know a little bit about you. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there are of course other persons belonging to Das Coffee. It's funny that you say Das. You're not the only one who says Das because actually we are always Das Coffee. We never used to say Das, but yeah, especially talking to people abroad from Germany, like Europe or somewhere else, they always goes to Das. Maybe it's easier and shorter. But it's actually it's Das Coffee, or we say even only coffee, but maybe we should keep that with Das. It's very short, it's very, I don't know, make something. You never forget this. Das. Yeah, there is for I think 2 years now, almost 2 years, Lucas within the team who is the owner. He overtake coffee.
Mhm.
Funny story, coffee used to be a yeah, name, company brand of a businessman from Iceland.
Mm.
Yeah. Because he owns the whole building in Dusseldorf where we are located. So he's the landlord, and there were two free spaces on the ground floor, and his idea was always to have a cafe, so he founded coffee. But yeah, he's a businessman in two very different fields, and always, always traveling for work, mostly in Africa, Tanzania.
Mhm.
So he was never there, and it was always difficult if we need permissions, if we need financial help, contracts to reach him. Sometimes he was like lost in the Tanzanian, I don't know, jungles, forests, and yeah, at some point he over or gave all the yeah responsibility to Lucas, and that was also the moment we had a owner who's right there, who supports us with investments for like online shopping, to do the actions at the German Coffee Festival, and going to World of Copenhagen, all these things. Um, yeah. Now next project will be opening a roastery, our own roastery. Yeah. So far we are roasting um and a place from another bigger roastery. So hopefully next year we do have our own place, a nice place at the same time or at daytime cafe, but more specific to be our roastery place or storage.
Mm.
And then there is Tuffy, of course, who's the roaster, the yeah, mastermind when it's about the green beans and roasting. It's mostly him. Um, I always try to find some connections to interesting farmers like Diego when I was visiting Diego, and then texted along with long while with Tamiru, and now we try to. mm we have a friend in Costa Rica, Chris Huertes, who wants to yeah, he has his own farm and he wants to work more in an organic way, but also like to use or experimental stuff like fermented coffee, but everything on an organic base. And yeah, we are really looking forward because he like to also harvest geisha. So nice Costa Rican geisha we are waiting for, but of course, it needs some time, like from planting, from raising the plants to the cherries. And then I was also visiting Diego Garcia in Colombia. He also has one of the nicest pink bourbons I drank so far. It was super interesting. I took my family with me, and when we visited Diego Garcia in Colombia, I never forget that was the most delicious coffee sherry I ever ate. We really just went to the branches, handpicked the coffee cherries. It was a rosado. They call it rosado, the pink bourbon. And
Mm.
it was so sweet, so delicious, like, yeah, yummy, like really like some kind of cherry. I never had it before. So hopefully, yeah, the next pink bourbon from Diego Garcia. So always on the quest to have some very nice, interesting coffee. Of course, not all of our selections because these coffees are more the long process coffee are expensive and always nice to have some good price value coffee as well. But we see us like a yeah specialty coffee and also specialty roastery. So
Mm.
we always super keen into having at least one, two outstanding coffees with a nice high cup score. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. So I actually, as a whole, then what's your particular role at DOS?
So I'm really something you can call an all-rounder. Yeah. So I also do like the barista work in the cafe. Yeah.
hmm
And yeah, I do coffee. I'm brewing coffee for many years now. So I'm working on coffee for more about 3 years now. So more like an experienced barista now.
Yeah.
But still, why I say all-rounder, for example, if you see Tufi, like my friend, the co-worker, our roaster, and also store manager from coffee, he is for example, super good on latte art. His latte art skills are amazing.
Yeah.
Then there are also, of course, other baristas in our team with amazing, crazy latte art skills. So I brew coffee, I do some nice motifs on the coffee, and that's okay for me. So I know, okay, I can brew coffee, I can do the shots, some latte art is nice. But at the same time, then I'm more focused on other work, like taking care of social media,
hmm
um, But also here is why I'm saying I'm all rounder. I'm not super professional social media agent, for example, right? When you follow us on Instagram, I mean, it's not like spreading every day any viral going videos because of course, it needs some time. Yeah, you need content, and there are other things, other kind of work to do. But yeah, we know that of course Instagram is also at the moment an important tool for national but also international level, right? To promote ourselves.
Mhm.
So these are the things I do. So I work in the cafe, I do the social media stuff, but also like administration, like doing the plan for the shifts, ordering, and then of course trying to provide our coffee for to other cafes. At the same time, looking for guest rows because we still have the concept. We have our own rows in our cafe, but we also like to highlight other cafes from other countries. Right now, we have urban coffee roasters in our cafe as a guest roast. It's coming from Hong Kong.
Wow.
Jerry, who is the Asian barista champion last year and this year, I think,
Wow.
yeah, in a row. Very talented guy. Also, he invented a nice cup. It's called two-way cup, I think. I don't know if you ever heard of a cup two-way. It's interesting. We do have one also in our cafe, so you can imagine it's a cup. One, it's not this one. I'm just trying to explain to you how it will be or looking like. So you have one part which is like round,
Yeah.
and the other part it's almost like a milk pitcher, you know? It's going more, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, not round, but more going, yeah, very steam. So if you drink from one side, the round side, it's a more hermeted, it's closed. Yeah, you go with your mouth here on this round part,
Hmm.
and there is not much oxygen when you drink. On the other side, which has the, yeah, almost like a white, not white mouth, but like yeah, how you call it? I don't know. Yeah. You can imagine it looks like a milk pitcher, so it's going more out of the cup, the part here. And if you drink from the other way, at the same time, you have more oxygen when you drink, so there's more air in your mouth. It's really interesting. You have, yeah, it's another way to drink the coffee. Yeah, if you drink with more air or with less air, change something with the flavor in your mouth.
Yeah.
So that's the two-way cup from Jerry. Also, his coffee is crazy. That was, for example, the first Malaysian roast I ever drank. I
Wow.
never had coffee from Malaysia because I think Malaysia is more like um, not big into exports.
Yeah.
I think all they do stays in the country. But we had coffee from Jerry now with lactobacterials, but also with nitro fermentation, super crazy stuff. It's funny because he used to keep his beans into in like a metal can. Looks like, I don't know, very old small cans which you use for oil or for gas. And we have like around six, seven different coffees from him now, and all whenever you open this metal can and you smell it, it's crazy. It's pure funkiness. There is one coffee which has super strength skin from watermelon. When you open it, it smells super like watermelon, and yeah, amazing coffee. So nice for the people at the same time here in Düsseldorf or in Germany to see coffees from other parts of the world because as you can imagine, it's not that easy or cheap just to order one bag of coffee from Hong Kong. You pay taxes, maybe you pay shipping costs, of course.
Hmm.
Yeah, and that's what we try to do with ourselves now to promote Asma to become a guest roast. We are staying in contact now with a nice guy, Nico from Greece. He has a cafe in Athens, um, requesting coffee from us. And yeah, and hopefully more and more roasting is coming when we open our new roastery. And yeah, let's see where we stay in a couple of months. Very excited.
Yeah, that's a very, very, very exciting. And I don't remember what roaster do y'all use for roasting?
Right now it's Probat
Nothing.
in the roastery. And yeah, good question. I think Tufi and Lucas, they already looking for a new roast machine.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
So I'm not sure if they take the old machine with them. Maybe for the first months we do like this. Because yeah, we have a lot of costs, of course. This place doesn't used to be a roastery before, so we have to do all the things like the air system, the mm, there are so many regulations here in Germany if you want to open a roastery.
Yeah.
And yeah, will be a lot of work, a lot of costs. So maybe we start with that, and then at some point we will use a very new roast machine. We changed also now our sample roaster from Ikava to a newer one from Link, which is nice.
Okay.
Yeah, nice, very nice device. It's very fun to work with it. It makes yeah, super Tufi is super excited, super happy to work with it. So yeah, for the samples because we ordering a lot of green beans always, try to find some nice interesting beans. And now it's much easier with the link. Yeah,
Hmm.
it's a nice device. And then yeah, we will see. The roast machine will come, I guess, a new one at some point, but we have also to do the hand brew station and the table and the chairs. So yeah, a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I love it. I'm very excited for you guys to grow more. And, again, just kind of going back to us having tasted many German roasters and having simply found you on Instagram and, you know, reached out and you were so wonderful to get back to us and send us some samples. And it was really neat to find a roastery that, we believe in and the fact that you guys have been so excited about all the producers you're working with makes us excited. And to be able to get these coffees for people to try here is very, very exciting. And so I'm
Yeah, also for us. So yeah, it's a crazy story behind that. Like beginning on Instagram and then seeing now that our coffee is I don't know how many kilometer, how many miles away from here, but in St. Louis. It's crazy. I mean, yeah, you expected maybe from Manhattan roasters, from the barn, from bigger names.
Mhm.
And yeah, that's super nice for us as a micro roastery who is also interested into roasting very high level coffee. Super nice to see.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, you know it. Like the coffee we have, some of them has a price. It's an investment, but yeah, I mean, we're still happy that you appreciate the coffee, and I'm sure also the farmers who get a nice price are happy at the same time.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I kind of wanted to now just go down the list of each coffee that we got from you guys and kind of just hear your thoughts on those coffees and or maybe, kind of how you got them. And,
Yeah.
the first one is that El Pariso regional coffee. Super, super good. Your tasting notes were pretty spot on. I mean, quite honestly, for each coffee. But I even wrote. Have you? I don't even know if this is a thing outside of America. Do you know what schmores are?
Morza.
Yeah. Do you know what a schmore like? Um, it's maybe not.
It's it's what is it's something to eat or
Yes. Yeah, something to so it's I actually I've never thought about this in my life, but I don't know if it is a US thing or if it's a whole world thing. But it's like around a campfire, you put marshmallows on like sticks and then
yeah.
roast them and then you put like chocolate with graham crackers and then you have like a little sandwich and we call it a s'more.
Ah, yeah. Okay. Yeah. I know that.
Well, this this El Pariso really tasted like that to me
Okay.
because it had
I
that.
mean,
Yeah.
it's a more sweeter one and it has some chocolate notes, so could be. Yeah. I'm hearing it for the first time, but I mean, why not?
I'm dying. But yeah, that's one of my tasting notes. I mean, y'all were spot on with the sweet chocolate, the yellow fruits, the brown sugar. It was a
Yeah,
very
right.
sweet coffee.
Yeah.
I loved it. I even threw in there in my personal tasting notes like pomegranate and kind of like a citrus plum, where it's both citrusy but that you get that mouth acidity. And it was just such a pleasant coffee to drink. So pleasant. And as far as I've heard from you guys, it sounds like y'all have like a really nice relationship with Diego. And so how did y'all kind of come to get this coffee that was, if I remember correctly, produced by kind of Diego's neighbors, right?
Yeah, exactly. The thing about, well, yeah, we met Diego for the first time in Amsterdam. He was there at the place from Duck. Have you heard of Duck? Do you know Duck from Amsterdam?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, we met them there for the first time and tried his coffee. And already there, when we cupped some coffee, we realized that his coffee and also from Nestor Lasso, who we also want to work with soon in the next months, maybe. Like these two producer were very outstanding. These cups from both were crazy on the table.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the first time we met Diego, and then I'm not sure if he was at first here in Germany visiting us, or it was me, my family visiting him in Colombia. However, he was super kind and invited us, like, told me whenever I'm in Colombia, I should visit him. And he even took care about transportation, like all the taking care about the bus tickets, travel to his place, and help us also going back from his place to the airport.
Mm-hmm.
And very nice guy, very humbled. Even he is some kind of even like now rock star in the business, you can say. Like Doug is working with Diego and Manhattan, of course, has they also have like a regional line in their selection. They have like Letty Bermudez, Samuel Jr. They have different coffees from him. So Diego is a very, very big name. Diego is working now with Scott Rayo as well.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and it's funny when I was in Frankfurt at the coffee festival last year, and we had so many coffee from Diego. They came baristas who are also even like competition winners or I don't know, people with a big name in the business. They came to me and told me, how was it possible that you visited Diego? I was always asking him, and he never replied, or he said it's not possible right now. How did you do that? So yeah, we were very blessed to visit him, his farm, and I've been at the newest farm, and the newest farm is that place where he does the community coffee we were
Mm-hmm.
talking about. So it's not only Diego's cafe, he's working with all the farmers in the surrounding area. So trying to support them. And also it's maybe because it's not really Diego's coffee. Behind this coffee, there is no long or complicated fermentation process. It's a washed coffee.
Mm-hmm.
It's at the same time the first washed coffee with coffees from coffee cherries from El Paraíso because they do normally, as you know, the crazy fermented stuff. And yeah, that's the first washed coffee from Diego. And it's what is nice about it, it's more you can say a budget, nice budget coffee. It's not that expensive like the roasty we had or the 720, which was the coffee which was fermented for 1 month. Or we had a coffee which was called MF360. Super nice. Oh yeah, my wife is here and she says, it's her favorite coffee. MF360 was amazing. Uh, Super taste of coconut. Yeah, if you do it, there's a nice concentration and espresso and milk. It's like Raffaello, which is a candy bar with coconut and chocolate. And if you brew as a filter coffee, very nice long aftertaste from lime and coconut in your mouth is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's the thing about Regional. Nice coffee, good to drink, nice sweetness, chocolate, brown sugar. So should be coffee for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I loved it. It was just a very enjoyable coffee, like you said. It's for everybody, and there was, for the most part, nothing to, I don't know, go wrong within the cup. I brewed it up once and realized I could just fine it up a little bit, and those notes would be a little bit more prevalent. And I was like, this is great. It's pretty easy to brew with, so I was very, very happy with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And now, kind of moving on to the Brazil, this one, this is a fantastic Brazil. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but for us as a multi-roaster, it's working with different roasters from around the world. We're lucky enough to have some roasters have some Brazil offerings, and it's very nice to see the offerings get a little bit more. I don't know. There's just more offerings from different roasters, and we're starting to taste Brazils that are a little bit better. And this is a perfect example of a very good Brazil. At least for us personally, we were very, very happy with this. And again, your tasting notes were spot on, especially the bubblegum and the green apple. It was just a very enjoyable and fun Brazil to drink. So I was really really happy today. I actually brewed it up 2 or 3 times, and it was just fun that I played with the grind on the Commandante, and kind of whichever way I went, it was good. And it just varied a little bit in terms of either like maybe a little less body, but a little bit more, clarity, or, kind of the other direction, a little bit more body, less clarity, but still big flavors. And so I loved it. And so I'm kind of wondering, yeah, how did you guys come across this Brazil? And do you work with Brazilian producers a lot, or not too much? What is it like from your perspective? Yeah.
Yeah, you're pretty right. Like everyone knows Brazil like as an espresso, mostly in cafes. if someone is serving espresso and he or she says we have a single origin espresso, like our basic or house blend, or not a house blend, but yeah, you always hear like it's a Brazilian coffee, Brazilian single origin or Brazilian blend with some Robusta parts from somewhere else. So when we used to talk about Brazilian coffee, it's more like espresso for a long time and more like a blend thing. But more and more Brazilian coffee becomes better. I would really say better, more high quality. Maybe also due to they had very challenging time with climate things, with forest, or yeah, with fire in the forest and the plantation. So they struggle a lot, and maybe it's an option for a farmer to try, yeah, not to produce more, but better coffee, more quality, and then less quantity.
Mhm.
And luckily, we work for Brazil with a nice um, organization which is called Family. Family, they based here in Europe. I think it's Belgium, and also, of course, in Brazil.
Mhm.
So they stay in touch with all the farmers, they're already there in the country. They visited them, they try the coffee, and then we were in touch with, I think his name from family. Was it Roberto? I think Roberto. We stayed in touch with him. Sent us some samples, and then we had Maxwell on the table,
Yeah.
and it's super nice because it's an anaerobic coffee, but not too much strengthness. As you said, it's super nice, gummy and fruity, so nice to drink. And funny. We did a FaceTime, short FaceTime with Maxwell. He showed us his farm. Very nice guy. Two little children who helps him at the farm, and also his wife. Lovely person. So very glad to work with him. And then at the same time, we had the chance because family they have a booth on World of Coffee in Copenhagen. So we were brewing the Maxwell coffee at the booth, could show it to other people. And yeah, we were insecure because they did a cupping, and then we chose, of course, Maxwell at their booth to brew.
Mhm.
And other big names were on the table, like Manhattan, like I don't
Mhm.
know, other brands um, with crazy stuff, but still many people said that this Brazil coffee is very, very nice to drink. So yeah, we are very happy to choose Maxwell. It's a super, again, it's a nice, you could say everyday cup. In some way, you can really drink it 3, 4 times a day. Very nice to drink, very easy to drink, very delicious.
Yeah. Yeah. Would 100% agree. And in the past, like looking back over this past year, we've probably had anywhere between 3 to 7 or 8 Brazils that we've kind of fully embraced, so to speak. And I do think this was one of the better ones, which is very exciting. And it's funny, this is the second, I think, Brazil we've had just in our subscription throughout the year that like I've fell in love with and have been very happy with. So it's very neat that you guys happen to, find Maxwell through the couplings with Farmly or, whatever the name is. And that is just an absolute delight of a coffee. And for being, like a Brazilian catucai, um, I was just very happy with the quality. It's a little harder to find something that's this good. And yet you guys were, able to find it and roast it just exceptionally. And so I'm was very, very happy that we could get some of these. And I I still think it's funny that you accidentally sent us some extra Brazil. Which again, please invoice me for because we were so happy that we accidentally got a few extra bags. Um,
That's fine. Enjoy the coffee. We would be happy if you order next time again with us whenever we have some new stuff. So don't worry about that. I hope people enjoy this coffee.
yeah. Oh, I think so too. Well, m moving on to personally, my favorite coffee is the Ethiopia. Man,
Mhm.
absolutely thrilled with it. I do think this is one of I don't know if it's the best. I'm trying to remember which Ethiopias I've had this year, but this is a top notch Ethiopia from you guys and from Tamiru. I've actually yet to taste the anaerobic because we're saving that for the cafe for us to serve to our customers in the cafe. But this morning I got to brew up the natural ALO Village, the Tamiru. Wow, 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 wow. I I mean, you may have even seen I threw it up on my Instagram story because I was so happy. Um just you're again tasting notes spot on. You all had written down raisin, gooseberry, and chamomile. And I think what I threw in there, peach, strawberry limeade,
Mhm.
blueberry. It was just so enjoyable. This coffee, y'all really knocked out of the park. And I'm trying to remember, but right now I can't think of many other opportunities I've had to taste Tommy Roo's coffee. And I think this is the best I've ever tasted of his. Quite honestly. Absolutely amazing. Yeah, and I think you had mentioned so you got to meet Tamiru a while back, and it's the neatest thing that you guys are able to work with him. Kind of what you said earlier, how his coffee gets bought up so fast, and yeah, I mean, just mention, kind of briefly. I don't know if everyone listening kind of knows who Tamiru is and how amazing. But yeah, just kind of just explain a little bit about him and now your guys' relationship, which you kind of touched on earlier.
Yeah. Well, the thing about Tamiro, first of all, when I met Tamiro, um, it's super nice. Even he came to visit us in Düsseldorf. So
Oh,
as a small cafe in Düsseldorf and not in Berlin, for example, we felt honored to have Tamiro in our place, Diego in our place. Um, then we had the chance to meet Tamiro at the Ethiopian booth from World of Coffee, serving his coffee. Um, yeah, so also give him the chance because here, to be honest, Tufi did a great job. The roasting is on point.
hmm
It's super nice. I think, yeah, even Tamir was surprised and he came to Tufi and said, wow, this is the best roast I ever had so far from my coffee. It's very good.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe um, the fact because we are here located in Europe and people are interested to try light roasted coffee because as I told you, many of his beans are in the United Arabian Emirates. And I'm not sure. I've never been there, but well, I've been there, but I want just once at Espresso Lab and not at Archers, for example, who they do a great job, of course. It's crazy what they have and what they do, Archers. But maybe they roast a little bit more darker because the people over there prefer stronger, more strengthness in the coffee. And so it's a very light roasted coffee from Tamiro. And it begins, I guess the coffee is so good. We're talking about almost 95 cup score coffee.
Yeah.
It's, can't, can't be better. Um, must be the soil. I mean, the area where he is located. In general, we love Ethiopian coffee. They have so many nice origins, Jäger Scheffe, One of my best brews was from La Capra. I will never forget Ethiopian coffee from Jirga Schäfer. Also at home, I always try to have at least one Ethiopian coffee because you can drink them like it's super tea-ish. It's like drinking a nice black tea with, and then it depends. You have some lime notes or bergamot notes. Super nice to drink. It's a nice experience. Um, yeah, back to Tamiru, his farm. Aldo is altitude is 2,450 meters,
Yeah.
so super high.
Mhm.
Then when we talk about the anaerobe coffee, what he does is like he used some vessels, putting when you see the coffee beans from Tamiru, you see that they super tiny, really micro pearl, you can call them. So all hand picked, yeah. They wait for the right time and they do the harvest pretty early. So very nice small beans, all of them hand picked. Then they put it into vessels with no oxygen inside, and it is fermented for in this case for 96 hours. What is interesting is what happens afterwards. He used to let them dry on sunbeds,
Mhm.
but the sunbeds are in a cold room and not outside. So, and because of temperature, the coffee cherries needs more time to dry, but at the same time, they develop more sweetness. So we have super sweet things in the cup from Tamiro, like yeah, some nice fruity flavors.
Mhm.
That's the thing about the anaerobic coffee from Tamiro. Super nice. One of my favorites also so far we had.
Mhm. Yeah. Well, that was one of the things that I loved about it, and you kind of just said it, is the fact that Tamiru's coffees not only are floral, but the fact that it's quite fruity. In my
Yeah.
personal, belief, that's what makes it even more exciting because, we've had a lot of Ethiopias that are just quite floral and they're very delicate, and I feel like these coffees not only have that florality, but just a little bit more fruity and just a lovely balance between the two that makes it
Mhm.
just exquisite. And I'm just so, so happy with it. And yeah, I think this also is the first time for our subscription that we've kind of had an Ethiopian be so good that it's the main thing that we order. And so it was just so neat that we could be able to do this. Yes, I just absolutely in love with it. And I had the opportunity of meeting Tommy Ruitt, the expo in Chicago of this year.
Yeah, right. You said
Yeah,
that.
yeah, and just yeah, like you said, just a wonderful person. You know,
Absolutely.
yeah, and it was funny because I meet this guy, and he's just as nice as can be. And he doesn't tell me who like. It was the first time that I'd even kind of heard of him, so to speak, like as I'm meeting him. And so, everyone around him is like, "That's crazy, that's Tamiru." And I'm like, "Yeah, so who is this guy?" Um, and then everyone's starting to tell me, and it's just like, wow, like this guy knows what he's doing. And he's just as kind as can be, and I got to taste, I think, 3 to 4 different expressions of his coffee from different roasters at the expo, and I was just like, wow, this is crazy that I get to kind of taste his coffee and chat a wee bit with him, and to be like I said, this is definitely the tastiest version of his coffees I've ever had, which is just remarkable. And so I'm quite excited to be able to dial in the anaerobic for pour over when we have it, which will probably be in like probably 2 weeks or so, because
Yeah.
we've got 1 or 2 coffees that we're just waiting to get through, and we have probably a kilo of those. But I'm so excited to finally get it on pour over and for people to experience it. Um, yeah, it's gonna be so tasty. Yeah. Well, kind of moving on to the last coffee then, the Pink Bourbon.
Yeah, you don't have the natural. Do you have also the natural from Tamiru?
Yeah, so the natural is the one that we got for the subscription, like the exotic. Yeah.
Okay, nice. Yeah, because the natural is also super nice.
Yeah.
Um, ha- Due to the process, I think more juiciness, uh,
Yes.
which I like more body. Maybe not that complex like the anaerobe, but also super nice to drink. Yeah, the altitude and then the area, Zidama is very well known for very good coffee.
Hmm.
Uh, Makes this coffee so special. And this both coffees are a very new hybrid variety. So as you can see on the package on the label, it's called I think 741158,
Yeah.
which he explained me and Tufi once why the name. It's some numbers in his life and from the varieties before he used to do the hybrid plays a role. That's why he called it like that. So it's a very new variety. It's more or less his variety. This is why his coffee is also so outstanding. So you don't have the same coffee again. Then also they used to do the drying process in Ethiopia like just on concrete, but what Tamiru does is like I told you before, he works with mesh beds out of mesh to raise the to put the coffee cherries in to dry. Yeah. So also the natural, super nice.
Hmm. Yeah. No, it's absolutely tasty, and having it this morning, I was genuinely thrilled. I was very, very, very happy that I got to be tasting this coffee. And it's crazy to be tasting something so good that's not like a geisha from Ethiopia. It,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. It was absolutely a delight. Yeah, yeah. Well, this last coffee, this Colombia, I don't know if I've actually ever had coffee from this producer. Um,
Yeah.
is it how do you say it? Andres Guaca?
I think so. Guaca, yeah, is right.
Yeah. So yeah, how did you guys kind of get this coffee?
We work with Andre's friend, he's called Fred for a long time. I also visited Fred in Colombia. He's in the south in Huila. And Fred, we source also coffee from La Aldea. That's the farm from Fred. Our espresso and also one filter coffee is from him. And Fred is working also together with Andrea. So this is how we have the connection to him. And he just used to work with more outstanding varieties. Like Fred is, I think it's a Castillo or Catuai we had from Fred, but from Andre we had, or in general, he has some geishas, he has Aji, he has Panama, Pacamara, sorry, and the pink bourbon, of course. And we tried all of them. And this pink bourbon was super nice. Yeah, from the very first moment was clear for us we need this one. It's a nice rosado with some fruits of some kind of berries or lychee inside of it,
Mm.
and the altitude is in Andres farm not that high. I think 1,600 meters, but still, and maybe because of the fermentation, of course, because he used to work like with fermented stuff for 20 years, so very high experience in this field.
Mhm.
So yeah, he's doing fermentation for more than 20 years already. I guess he was one of the first when we talk about somebody who does this for 20 years, because I think Diego is like maybe 5 years into it, not more than 10, something between 5 and 10 years maybe.
Hmm.
He's doing it for 20 years, and for 10 years he's working with the varieties I counted now. And yeah, super nice, great coffee, nice to drink. Also, yeah, coffee for, I think, for a fair price, we could resell it. So
Hmm.
that's why we made this decision. And yeah, also, props to Tufi who roasted this cafe on really again on point. Yeah, great coffee. We brewed this coffee also again at World of Copenhagen at the Colombian booth together with Fred,
Yeah.
and people really like it. Yeah, it's a great coffee. Very happy to have it in our selection.
Yeah. Same. And it was an interesting coffee to brew too, cause I kind of started at I usually brew like 20 grams to 300 grams. And I started I think at like 16 clicks on a Commandante, and I was like, well, let's do something different. So I did like 11. And then I was like, I feel like this isn't working. So I just went coarser to like 21 or 20.
Mhm.
And I was like, here it is. And it was just like for a fast brew, that's when I found everything to come out. All of a sudden, like the hibiscus and the lychee and the
Mhm.
strawberry. It was like, okay, like I don't know how you guys brew it, but it was very interesting from my perspective to like fool around with it and be like, wow, like I feel like it just needed to just flow right through there in order for the flavors to just kind of come out. And yeah, it was very, very neat. Very, very neat. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. Nice.
Yeah.
Super happy to hear that. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm very, very happy with all these coffees, and very excited. I'm kind of already earlier today I was looking at kind of next year and trying to put together already, where we can throw you guys in and how we can work together. So I'm very
Yeah, please stay updated, follow us. We, as I told you, there will be nice stuff from Costa Rica coming, and hopefully also with Nestor, who has more like the funky stuff,
Mhm.
and hopefully a next one pink bourbon from Diego Garcia,
Mhm.
and maybe also a whoosh whoosh from him. So yeah, we keep trying to have some very nice outstanding coffees in our selections,
Yeah,
and we'll be happy to find our coffee like everywhere. So
yeah. No, I'm very excited. I'm glad we were able to get you guys in, and
yeah, we too, of course. Yeah.
yeah, very much excited to continue to work with you guys. Like I said, I at this time, I do believe you guys to be the best German roastery, and thrilled
Uh,
that you guys were
good.
okay with letting us, carry your coffee. I can only imagine how much trust it takes on your end to say, I hope these guys brew it well. Um,
I think so. I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But no, this was an absolute delight. Is there anything you would like to, add to, the subscribers or people who are watching, or anything of the sort before we, wrap up?
Oh, just hope that people will like and appreciate our coffees, our philosophy, try to do as much as in direct partnership with farmers who are very well known, like Diego, but also with new farmers like Tamiru. I mean, Tamiru is also now becoming a big name, or farmers who are not that big name like Andreas from Huya. And yeah, we see coffee as a fruit. Yeah, this is our philosophy. So that's why we always try to do a very nice light roast coffee to get all the fruitiness, to have something more like a tiche, nice hand brew. And we also serve our coffee, even those as batch brew. It's crazy. It must feel like a jackpot coming to our cafe, drinking a batch brew for €3. Maybe it's, I don't know, $4 for a 95 cup score coffee from Tamiru. But
Wow.
just to show people, uh, yeah, we tr always try more and more to convince people from changing from the Americano, which is still a German thing, a classic, going from Americano more to filter coffee. Of course, you can still drink an Americano, and I understand at some point if you prefer Americano as it's more stronger, more body. But if you really want some nice experience, we always try to people to try filter coffee. You get all those interesting notes in it. And yeah, it's super nice when you serve the hand brews or the batch brew to see people the first time drinking filter coffee on this level. And I remember when they drank MF360 from Diego, the coconut coffee, and Tamiro's coffee, and their faces, the reaction, it was
Hmm.
super nice to see. So yeah, we just a small roastery here based in Düsseldorf, but try to do our best as much as possible. The whole team, Tufi, Lucas, me, and also the baristas in our cafe, just to make pe people happy and to show what coffee is and how coffee can taste.
Hmm.
And hopefully, yeah, same nice experience you will have in St. Louis with these coffees.
Yeah. I am positive people will be loving these coffees, so I'm excited to bring you back. Yeah.
Cool.
I
Thanks
love
a
it.
lot.
Yeah, no, thank you so much, Milo. I will definitely stay in contact in the next few months and looking forward to our
Yeah,
continued friendship.
please stay in touch with us. Whenever you're brewing something, just post it or tag us. We will be happy to repost it. And whenever you are in Germany, come visit us. Maybe I told myself I when I go next time I go in the States, I would really love to see New Orleans. I'm a big music fan, and you know jazz and all those second line brass bands in New Orleans. I love to see,
Yeah.
but yeah, who knows? Maybe I can do it to St. Louis as well.
Hey, we would love it. Every roaster we've ever served or worked with, I always tell them if you come here, we'll do a whole takeover, like roaster takeover, and serve all your coffees and everything, and we'll host you, all of the above. So, just saying, if you ever get to St. Louis, we will host
Yeah,
you from there on out. And you won't have to worry about anything, and
yeah.
we
I'm
we would
sorry
love.
I never asked so much about you doing all the questions, but how is Common Coffee? I mean, how long do you exist already?
Well, in brief, we have been around, I believe, for 12 years now.
Wow.
Well,
12 years with you?
oh no, not with me. No, so I grew up in O'Fallon, Missouri, which is about 30 minutes west of St. Louis.
Yeah.
And probably in 2017, I moved to Los Angeles and I started working in coffee out there. And I actually, over time, just kind of, decided to come back to St. Louis, probably in like 2020 or so, like three or so years later. And um, yeah, and then I started working in coffee here and started working at Comet and kind of did the whole thing, worked my way up, from a barista to a lead barista, assistant manager, general manager. And yeah, I honestly just love being at Comet because we've always been a multi-roaster. And over the last year, we've really prioritized working with great roasters who we believe are the best and are wonderful people. And so hence why, I happen to find you and taste your coffee and believe you're you're one of the top ones. Which is just so exciting that, I get people like you who, even respond to us because, I think over the last year, like 40 or 50 roasters that I've reached out to multiple times never got back to me, and there's a lot that, I really wished would have gotten back to me because, they look great or, we might like them. But only so many roasters get back to us and say, "Yeah, sure, we're down to, see if things can work out." And so I was thrilled, honestly, when you actually responded.
Of course, pleasure.
Yeah, yeah. No, well, I'm very excited. Well, if I'm ever in Germany, I will 100% come to Dusseldorf. Very much so. Yeah, yeah.
You're more than welcome. Do that.
Well, thanks you. Thank you, Milo. Thanks again for the call. We'll keep in
You're
touch.
very welcome, my friend. It
Yeah,
was a pleasure.
absolutely. Well, and
Uh, Enjoy the coffee. I hope you like it, David, and all your customers.
yes, yes.
And yeah, keep me updated. And then whenever we got some new nice selection, I will let you know. I will send you some samples.
Yeah,
It will
please
be a
do.
pleasure for us.
Yeah. I'm looking
And
forward to getting you guys back in here. It's gonna be fun. Yeah.
cool.
I love it.
Nice.
Well, thanks again, Milo. Enjoy your evening.
You're welcome. Thank you. Bye bye. Have a nice day.
You too.